Evan is a sophomore at the University of Mary Washington studying biomedical engineering. And in his freshman year, he had an overall record of 11 and 11 and in singles and a 12 to 13 record in doubles. On top of that, he received University of Mary Washington's athletic honor roll and was selected for his conference's all academic team. In high school, he competed in tennis, basketball, soccer, and track, and was the captain of the varsity tennis team and received all state tennis honor. Evan, thank you again for joining us tonight.
Of course, of course. Thank you for having me.
All right, so to get back into it, we would love to hear a little bit about your journey into college tennis. So, our first question we have for you is what inspired you to pursue college tennis?
So for me, I would probably say it's my mom. She always had me playing tennis when I was growing up. We would always go out to park courts and stuff. I'd be competing against her. When I was younger, I always would think she was, like the best player ever, but realistically, she wasn't. And it was just fun gauging competition with her. Um, and I would say just kind of being around competition, just playing junior tournaments and all this other stuff kind of led me to the track that it's been such an integral part of my whole life. It's something I want to pursue further once I go to college.
That's awesome. When I was growing up, so my dad played tennis and we compete all the time as well. And so I'm in
Yeah.
the same boat as you. I used to, we'd always compete. I started beating him actually when I turned 16. I was wondering what age you started
Yeah.
beating your mother in tennis, if you want.
I'd probably say like 13 or 14.
Uh,
That's probably my guess.
Yeah, so as you know, you touched on this a little bit already, but your mother has, I'm assuming, was a big role model for you, and that kind of leads into our next questions: is who were your biggest role models? One being your mother, of course, and how did they influence like your career?
I would say I had a coach who used to coach at the University of Richmond, and he was probably a huge, probably one of the biggest mentors I've had growing up tennis wise. He would always pick me up from home to take me out to courts for lessons and just being out on the court 24/7. I would also say definitely my mom as well because I mean I couldn't have done anything without her necessarily. Like she's a I mean, she's your mom, of course. But I would definitely say it was my coach who used to be the assistant at Richmond. He really instilled a good spark and foundation of tennis to me that I mean I will never forget and it'll always stick with me for the rest of my life. Honestly.
That's awesome to hear. And
Amazing. I feel like a good coach can really make the sport.
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt.
and kind of like a side question to that, was there any particular athlete growing up, could be tennis, could be outside of tennis, that also inspired you in any way?
Um, I always like Tim Tebow. It was kind of just random, but yeah. No, for
Love
no like particular
it.
reason. I like Tim Tebow and Aaron Rodgers. There's just always just like their competitive spirit.
Mhm.
That's good.
All right. Okay. On to more of your college experience. What has been the most rewarding part of your college tennis experience so far?
I mean, I would say multiple things. I would say just traveling with the guys, almost just being such a unit as one, and it's having a great team culture. I think that's just something that is super rewarding that not everyone who's not even playing sports will ever get, and it's a once in a lifetime opportunity that you can have. And I'm grateful to be in a great environment that is able to provide that for me. And I would definitely also say winning the ITA doubles this fall, that was very rewarding. It shows that, I mean, a lot of my hard work has paid off, you know, and it's just been, that was definitely very fun as well and felt very good after, good relief of stress, to say the least.
Do you have a favorite bonding moment you can recall with your team?
Um, I would say just a bus ride back from TCNJ when we played them late in the spring last year. I think that was our last dual match before conference play, and it was just it was probably just my favorite just time with the team all together, just all hanging out, just making jokes. Of course, it helps when you win 5-4, and the guy who clinches in a third set breaker, so it makes things feel a lot better in the bus ride. But I would definitely have to say that.
Yeah, those moments I think are always special.
Yeah,
Yeah, the sometimes it's the clinching moments feel really special, but also the bus ride back is just like
yeah, it's just
every soaks
very,
in.
very happy. It's like
Yeah, yeah,
2 points could have changed the whole ride back home. It's
yeah. So you're a sophomore now, so you've been in the kind of the college for a year now. And obviously growing up, in juniors, tennis has always been an individual sport. How much are you really enjoying this team atmosphere in college?
oh
And
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I mean it's how are you liking that change in kind of like individual to team?
Well, so for me, it wasn't like a crazy adjustment. I would say my high school team, we were a very close knit group of guys, and we were a very good team as well. And so I knew how that team aspect felt, but it's almost just personified while being in college, and I really like it. It's just that culture, that morale. It's just the energy on the court throughout dual matches and stuff like that. It's just a lot better than just junior tournaments in themselves.
That's awesome. So moving on to our next question, were there any unique challenges you faced as a black athlete in tennis, and how did you overcome them?
Well, I'd say for me, being a black athlete in Richmond, there's a lot of programs for black athletes like me, and I would say just access to tennis necessarily. I mean, yes, I started off with my mom, but that's not. I mean, that's not going to be adequate coaching and things like that. And so I was lucky to be able to access the MRTC, the Metro Richmond Tennis Club, and they helped me tremendously with tennis, getting to places, getting to clinics, just getting matches in, all this stuff that has just really, really helped me in my development for the game and the love, or my love for tennis as well.
Wow, that's a great opportunity to be. I think one of the things that we're looking at now in this kind of culture is a lot of people just making the access to tennis
Yeah, just
easier
easier. Yeah, and more
for all types of
affordable as
people,
well.
for more diverse backgrounds. Yeah, that's a huge thing that we're looking to try to improve in tennis. Okay, this is a big question, so sorry, it's a hard one. What legacy do you hope to leave for future Black tennis players in your hometown, at your school, or in the sport of tennis at large?
Oof. I would say just to kind of go out of your comfort zone, regardless of what situation you're in, and be authentically you. I think that will really help build self character and confidence in yourself, whether what kind of space that you're in. I mean, as a black man, black athlete, I mean, being able to just navigate different spaces and being authentically myself and confident in my own values and my own way, I think can really help other black people and athletes and whoever in general. I think that'll be the thing I want to leave behind. I don't know necessarily how I can do it. That's just kind of words I'm saying, but I think that's probably the biggest thing I would love to leave behind personally.
That's great advice. That's very powerful.
That is great advice. Very inspiring as well. Adam, just curious, is there a quote or like a saying that you would say you kind of like live by and you go to your day to day and you try and like represent that?
I would say there's two. I'd say that, or it's another two. My coach says daily during practice. It's a love the hard. He says that he love the hard situations and accept them and all that, and also no easy shots. And I think that can be definitely overlooked. Just there's a put away volley on top of the net or something like that, and we're not perfect and they're not easy. Don't overlook those situations and really, really try and apply yourself and finish things to completion and with 100% effort, regardless of how quote unquote easy it is. Yeah.
It's
That's
amazing. I'm gonna take that.
yeah, so am
You have to
I. 'Cause
put asterisk Todd Helbling on there as well.
Perfect.
That's actually really funny you say that because I brought up a point in practice today. It was like I played a great point, approached to the net, made a great volley, had that sitter over it, and boom, right into the net. Like I'm like,
Exactly.
yeah, happens to all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. But one more thing I wanted to ask you. So, you're playing tennis in college right now, and I see, and based on your high school, you played basketball, soccer, and track. Would you say that this kind of diverse background in sports, especially at a high school level, has helped you in tennis in any way?
I would say so. I mean, I think it definitely helped burnout. I mean, tennis is a very lonely and repetitive sport, and I think that helped me be able to want to play throughout college. I know a lot of people that suffer from burnout in college from juniors. I also think it just helped me be a little bit, just be able to move a little bit better and just have like just different sports to play and be able to adapt those nuances from those sports and apply them to tennis. I think that's helped me a lot as well.
That's awesome.
Okay, I think that's all we have for you today. Thank you so much
Okay.
for doing this with
Yeah, of
us.
course.